Rigathi Gachagua has come out to call on the speedy investigation on the death of JOANA NGENO, who died in a plane crash. Rigathi Gachagua has continued to project himself as one of the fighters for the freedoms of the minority. We all know that JOANA NGENO was elected as an elder in the Kipsigis community. We all know that the Kipsigis is a sub-nation within the Kalenjin community. Rigathi Gachagua said these statements.
JOANA NGENO has died in a crash. As we call for investigations, I must say that Kipchumba Murkomen cannot be CS Interior, and the family of NGENO and the Kipsigis community and other Kenyans expect fair and transparent investigations, because Kipchumba Murkomen has been fighting Mheshimiwa NGENO. We want to ask President William RUTO to ask Kipchumba Murkomen to step aside to allow for thorough investigations into the air crash. Alternatively, if the president must keep Kipchumba Murkomen, who is responsible for creating violence in Kenya, the CS Kipchumba and PS Remodomono are responsible for the violence that is going on in the country.
That is Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua is insinuating on the syndicate that was meted on JOANA NGENO, who died in the plane crash. And in politics, nothing is done by mistake. JOANA NGENO for a long period of time has been projected as someone who has always fought for the rights of his community. In fact, in a video before the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, JOANA NGENO was seen defending Rigathi Gachagua. Here's the
Naibu wa Rais, saa zingine tunasikia maneno kidogo kidogo. Na hii maneno labda watu wengine wanajaribu ati kukufanya ukosane na rais wetu wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Tunataka kukuambia wewe ukae kama Job. Ujue rais ni rafiki yako na rais hako na imani na wewe. Wale wakando kando ambao wanaongea maneno yao.
That is JOANA NGENO. First of all, for Rigathi Gachagua to come out and call for the investigation of JOANA NGENO, you clearly see how Rigathi Gachagua knows how to play politics. Very many leaders in Kenya, they don't talk about communal politics. Yet, actually, when you go underground, Kenya is built on communal politics. It's the reason that's why the president and deputy president for the front runners must come from the biggest communities. That is the Kalenjin nation, the Gema community, the Luos, the Kambas, and the Luyas. That's the matter of fact. It will take years for any person to be president out of those 5 communities. So the purpose of this video, I've come to talk about the statements which were made by Rigathi Gachagua, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the study materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. One, to give you a clear example of what it means, of what the Kalenjin nation entails. Kalenjin nations entails sub-communities. Kipsigis are the majority. Nandis are the second most populous. But in the Kalenjin community, only Nandis have led since Moi and now William RUTO. And every leader that comes up from the Kipsigis for his name to be known nationally, he faces sudden death. Even Isaac RUTO, who comes from the Kipsigis, there is a way RUTO fought him until he gave up. Now he serves in government. Okay. Now, JOANA NGENO's death must raise a lot of issues. In fact, Rigathi Gachagua continued to say that before his impeachment, he met JOANA NGENO in a room that was bagged by the state. Here's a tape.
He was coming to see me in Kisumu. He sent the National Intelligence Service to bag my room so that he can record the conversation between me and JOANA NGENO. And we had a big discussion, and he told me what he was going through and the way he was being persecuted for fighting for the rights of the Kipsigis people. he told me that a plan had been hatched to remove me from office because I was also fighting for the interests of my community the way he was fighting for his community. And he told me he was opposed to it, and he felt the president would destabilize his own government, which has happened. And he said he would do whatever he needs to try to persuade him. And immediately the recording was taken to William Ruto. He was summoned, and he was thoroughly intimidated, and he was a very worried man. So when it came to the impeachment process, he came to see me and showed me messages that William Ruto had sent him, threatening him that if he doesn't impeach me, he would face dire consequences. And he was crying. He came at 2 a.m. in the morning. And I listened to him, and I told him, the die is cast. Ruto has the numbers he has bought everybody. Even if you don't sign that impeachment, it will change nothing. Instead of endangering you and your life and your family, just go ahead and sign. He signed with a lot of tears. The same happened to Muhammad Ali, the MP for Nyari. He was also thoroughly intimidated, and he shared me with the messages Ruto was sending them from the United States. Since then, I've been talking to Ngeno, and he has been under a lot of siege from Kipchumba Murkomen and Aaron Cheriot, trying to suppress his ambition to be the leader of the Kipsigis community. As late as last Sunday, we talked with Ngeno, and I told him I'll go through Bomet, and he did encourage me to go through Bomet. After I went to Bomet, I was well received. He called to thank me for articulating the challenges facing the people of Kipsigis community. We don't want to say anything, but we want to call for thorough investigations so that the truth can be known. The Kipsigis people have had many challenges. Anytime a leader has emerged to lead the community, he has faced challenges. Kipkalia Kones also died in a helicopter crash, and was a great leader of the Kipsigis community.
That is Rigathi Gachagua. So you must interrogate this, the statements which were told by Rigathi Gachagua. First of all, I may be hesitant to believe that the state eliminated JOANA NGENO. But also, if Rigathi Gachagua comes out to speak like that, we all know that politics is communal. It's the reason why Rigathi Gachagua fights hard to be one of the leaders from the mountain who can give direction. And in the Kalenjin nation, there has been wars until when Ruto came on top. Wise as Ruto is, he didn't want dissenting voices from his community. It's the reason why when the by-election happened in Baringo, he called Gideon Moi not to stand. Had Gideon Moi stood in an election on Okanu ticket, Kanu would be fighting UDA, and trust me, Gideon Moi would win because the people of Baringo tested Gideon Moi outside the country, outside the status quo. The same the Kipsigis have been fighting since the days of Isaac Ruto. It is the truth. So the death of JOANA NGENO must be investigated. People may not continue dying in such choppers without proper investigation. But of course, as Rigathi Gachagua put it, Kipchumba Murkomen and others may not be the most favored to give out this investigation. The same that happened to the deputy CDF of the army, Ogola. The investigation has never come out. It is the truth. So JOANA NGENO's death must raise a lot of questions, most especially in the community of the Kipsigis. And okay, let me assume it's not true. Even Rigathi Gachagua is playing right the cards. He's trying hard to break or to get support from the Kalenjin nation. As Ruto is trying hard to also get some support from the Gema community, Rigathi Gachagua is using another narrative. And if you ask me, there is a Rigathi Gachagua has played politics. Even before he goes in a certain communities, he has a way of speaking words. And trust me, the whole week you're going to keep on discussing Rigathi Gachagua's statements. I've already told you that the signs of a front runner is when his statements can be discussed for a week, and Rigathi Gachagua knows how to do it. Of course, that's my opinion. My name is truly Mr. Makinde Kabir Sulaiman Magal. If you're into this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.